Hi, this is Jimmy Krotov from Moscow Morning. I think this is the John, was called in antiquity dialogue with one's own soul. I am addressing my own life, my own mind. And I think this is more interesting than to address your mind. Your mind is quite known to you. Wealthy democracy. There was a lot of books with titles like Why the West is Wealthy. And in different articles, I often meet the expression wealthy democracy are, wealthy democracy are. The idea is that democracy and wealth are interconnected, that despotism, totalitarian structures are not as profitable as democratic life. Maybe, although no one has proved it. Moral question is, imagine that democracy leads to poverty, that to live according to the idea of human's right, of democratic power, and so on and so forth, means to live in poverty. Will you agree to be a Democrat then? Or you agree for democracy only if it leads to wealth and power? For example, yesterday, a president of the United States visited Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia and this kingdom is quite wealthy, and it is quite a despotic country with no hints of democracy. So the only difference between Saudis and Russians is that Russians wage an aggressive war towards Ukraine, and Saudis do not wage aggressive wars and no wars at all. But this is a wealthy country with huge class distinction, just like the United States. So, will you agree to live in monarchy, totalitarian monarchy like Arabia, as a minister? I understand that no one will agree to live in Saudi Arabia as a taxi driver or just a worker and so on and so forth, because it will be not a very smart life, a very pleasant life. And this is the question about faith, about sense of life and religion. Also, yesterday, there was a sort of protests in London in the art gallery, in the State Art Gallery. People used glue to immobilize themselves in front of the picture, a replica of Da Vinci's Last Supper, with slogans, get a new oil or stop oil and something like this. And they've explained they are environmentalists. And they've explained, one of them explained, that you, the director of the art gallery, state that art changes the world. So let your art change the world to more ecological, without oil and gas. Faith changes a man or woman. I can speak only for that. Does it mean that my faith must change my life to a better living, economically, spiritual, and so on and so forth? I'm not sure. To change is not equal to make better. It can mean a lot of things. And first of all, to change can mean to make more human. Whether human life is always a better economical life, I don't think so. And this leads us to the gospel, which is a good news. But these good news are not about the economical prosperity or war victory. It's about eternal life. It's about sense of life. It's about humanity. So blessed are the poor, because they receive wealth of some other sort. Anyway, wealthy democracy are not wealthy for all. This is the problem. Just like my grandfather 100 years ago under Tsar was imprisoned because he struggled for socialism, for the equality. I think he will be imprisoned in the modern United States also. Okay, that's all. I'm not struggling for the social equality, social justice, state of prosperity, and so on and so forth. I just remember how many poor men I met while visiting the West. Here in Moscow, beggars are very innumerous, very numerous. It doesn't mean that we're wealthier than West. It means that the system wants to make a good face. So poor people are expelled out of the public view. But I'm afraid that wealthy democracy also expels poor people out of its view. Only God doesn't expel anyone. Okay, bye. Jimmy Crotto, Moscow. Jimmy Crotto, Moscow Morning.